Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live, brought to you by Bet365, the best place to make your wagers. So, what are you doing? Go sign up today for Bet365. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets, but only when you use the promo code Leading Off. That's what you want to do. Welsh is here. I'm here. And it looks like our new friend, the Wheel, is going to be here. That's right. Wheel of Homers is going to be here because Welsh went over the weekend, which it's a tough one. But I gotta say, I was rooting for the Wheel, and I got what I asked for.
Well, we picked Corbin Carroll, so we had a really good opportunity that we were going to go to the Wheel. But yep, worst home run call of all time. Pretty bad betting weekend in general, ladies and gentlemen. That was a pretty good ASMR. The knuckles cracking there. We're ready to turn the week around because woof. And how else better to do it? Not with tireless analysis and breakdowns. No, it's by randomly putting names on a wheel, spinning it, and making that your choice. That is what we are doing later in the show today with the Wheel of Homers.
Well, we got some Lookie stuff today. It's going to be really fun. We got some good bets today, too. I feel good about some of the things we're talking about. Also, I'm in a good mood because I've got this bad boy my Montreal Expo shirt came in the mail this weekend, which I bought. I love the old school Montreal Expo.
Buy it off the Instagram? Did you do the Instagram ad?
I didn't buy it off the Instagram because they'll hack your account. I bought it off a reputable place, but it came today, so I'm wearing it on the show today, representing the OG Montreal. Still the weirdest baseball experience I've ever had in my entire life. Getting to see baseball in Olympic Stadium was crazy. There was no fans there, so people didn't clap. You know what they used to do? These seats. So it was like one plastic kind of thing for your rear end, and then like another freestanding weird plastic thing for your back. And it was like a black rod that connected the two of them. It was the most uncomfortable, weird.
You're describing like Total Recall. Like
it's a very Total Recall, Stanley Kubrick almost sort of torture device. But my point is
they rip your eyes open. They're like, watch the Expo.
Watch Vladimir Guerrero before he doesn't play here anymore. But
is that the person you think of, by the way? Oh, sorry. You finish and I'll ask you this question.
Okay, so they didn't clap. They used to bang the seats, the plastic seats next to them because nobody was sitting next to anybody. And that's how they would make noise, like bang, 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 bang. It was the wildest thing, weird stuff. There was karaoke stuff going on. There were tribute bands, the weirdest tasting hot dogs, Yuppie cough medicine. Yes, Yuppie cough medicine. It was purchased. I did try it. And I'm sure it explains a lot of why I am the way I am today. So
are you sure this was a baseball game that you were at?
Oh, it was a baseball weekend. I went there with my cousin. They asked us, why are you coming to Canada? And I said, we're going to see the Expos.
Yeah, you said that, yeah.
And sure enough, there we go. Next thing you know, we're there. So
the player you think of when you think of the old Expos?
Oh, God. That's a great question. Tim Raines probably first. Really? I still think Gary Carter, even though his Mets. Tim Raines, him, Andres Galarraga comes to mind. Dennis Martinez, El Presidente comes to mind. And then the later Expos, like the Larry Walker into the, Delino, DeShields, Marquise Grissom, 94 Expos were really fun. And then later, of course, Vladdy. But that's a good
Vladdy's actually mine. Like my brain
Jerry's got it. Andre Dawson or Andrea Dawson, as he wrote here.
Andrea Dawson.
Andrea Dawson. Isn't she? I think she was a secretary for the for the traveling secretary for the team. I think at one point. All right, let's get to the headlines here, and let's start. Or traveling executive assistant, is that what it's called now? Okay. All right. Bobby Miller goes on the IL. Nobody saw this coming. That was kind of a wacky thing that happened. No. MRI was clean, so that's good news. 5 to 7 days of rest, and then we'll see what happens. Welsh, concerns about Bobby Miller real quick before we go to the next pitcher working their way back from injury.
I put him on the trade for video. So in the trade video, we're talking about Bobby Miller, and then wham, he gets hurt. Sure, any of these guys getting hurt is a concern. Any of these guys that are pumping really, really high velocity and have got discrepancies with their secondaries. People have been making lists on Twitter and stuff of who are the next guys to fall. Bobby Miller's, he's one of those players that we're staring at that's like, oh, this might not get might not be great, but also it's a 6-man rotation team that is going to minimize some of the pitchers. So yeah, it's a little bit more than concerning.
I like all the old Expos names we left in there, but you know what? You get them cheaper now. If you're making a trade off for Bobby Miller, maybe you can get them really cheap now. So
yeah,
it's something to consider.
I mean, any pitcher on the IL, but like it's risky. Like how
it is.
any guy that's on the IL, even if you think they're like, okay, like what are you really willing to unload while they're on the IL? Look at Eduardo Rodriguez. Eduardo Rodriguez, Diamondbacks kept being like, oh, everything's going to be cool. And he's 95%, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, another setback because of tightness. And he's sitting back down. Like, it's just one little tiny thing with a lot of these guys. I think it's a really tough effort to go and trade for any pitcher at this point. As a matter of fact, my trade video is coming out today or tomorrow. The short's already out there. I've got, I believe, one pitcher on it, and it's a sell. And I think it's to be hard pressed to be buying a lot of pitchers right now.
All right, Justin Verlander's shoulder had a rough rehab start this weekend. I don't know how much I care about that, except for the fact he's 41 and he's coming off a shoulder issue. So those are the two things that have me a little worried about this. Outside of Christian Javier, the pitching has not been good. The Astros have not been good. Again, I'm trying not to get too crazy about this, but it is something where I'm a little concerned. I'm not going to lie. Normally, I'd be like, whatever. It doesn't matter. Verlander's just working on stuff. It doesn't matter. He doesn't need to do it. But, it does at this stage in his career at 41 worry me a little bit. Good news for the Padres. They got a W over the Dodgers. Jurickson Profar and Manny Machado hitting homers in this one. Profar, what a hot start, and still available in a lot of leagues, hitting 321, 424, 536 slash. 2 homers, 13 ribbies in 18 games. What do you make of this Profar start? I feel like we've been here before, Welsh, and I don't want to waste any fab on it, but what do you think?
I think it's a good streamable bat. Also ridiculous, by the way, if you saw it this weekend. Gavin Stone had a perfect game and threw like inside, and Jurickson Profar was ready to get the benches to clear like he threw at him. Like, buddy, he's got a perfect game going. It was an accident. It's also a young pitcher. But, Jurickson Profar is the reason that the whole Tommy Pham situation didn't happen. If people saw the reports, John Heyman reported that Tommy Pham is like really close to signing with the White Sox, LOL, that he's going to go play there. That's just extending your career to whatever that is. But, the rumor was he was going to lock in with the Padres, but not only has Jackson Merrill been so incredible, hitting over 300, got to a leadoff spot this weekend, but Profar has been really good as well, and it's been more than serviceable. So, Profar was a reason they moved away from Tommy Pham and any external options. But I think Profar is probably not more than like, hey, I'm down some outfielders, replaceable burn and churn type of bat. I'm not trying to pick him up for a long term.
Makes sense. I guess Pham too. They'll probably sign him and then they'll flip him in a couple months. That seems to be the Tommy Pham story at least.
He'll probably go hit 3. He'll probably go hit 3 for the White Sox early on, which is actually, you should go pick up Tommy Pham right now just for that opportunity. And then you're right. He goes and gets traded to, whoever the hell that's in the playoff contention, a Cubs or something like that, and then becomes even more fantasy relevant. So it's a really good time to go pick him up.
The funny part about that is too, it's like you now understand why the Colos 24-hour thing happened too. It's like, oh, we're just going to go sign Tommy Pham. Like, okay, that's a great move, White Sox. That makes a lot of sense. Michael Busch, 2 for 4 with a homer, one of Welsh's favorite guys going into the season. Welsh, I listened to you. I'm so happy I did. I got him cheap in my salary cap league. I think I got him for $6, I think, in that. 327, 393, 694 slash. And again, still available in like 30, 40% of leagues heading into this weekend's action. I didn't see what the rostership is after this weekend. It's probably more like 80. But yesterday I did the TV and he was at, I want to say 64% rostered. And I was just crazy, especially when you consider Josh Young out, Royce Lewis out. Michael Busch is just sitting there. I mean, I don't understand, but great call by you. Want to give Welsh some love because he's not feeling happy because later we're going to have to spin a wheel for Homer. So I want to pump you up a little bit.
Well, I appreciate that. I actually, I will tell you this. He is one of the headlines of the video, the trade video that's coming out. And he's been awesome. So you say, what are you talking about? But the whole crux of it is like, I don't know. Well, I do know. Based on the ownership still being what it is, based on someone in the Lucas just said, can I drop Caminero for Busch? Busch is still available out there. So for Busch to still be available out there, that tells me, some leagues have not caught up, but also I don't think owners are caught up to what potentially could be the top 100 value of Michael Busch this year. So I'm actually advocating for trading for a player that is already good because I think he can be a top 100 guy this year. The hard hit numbers look good. He's getting the ball in the air. He's barreling. I think it was like 17% last I looked. Everything is chalking up. It's a good environment for him to hit. I just don't think we've caught up to where the value is going to be sitting the rest of the season. I don't think he's going to stay at the tippy top of some of the stuff he's doing. But when he levels out and we look at the end of the year, he's it's going to be like 25 plus homers. He's going to have good RBI and run numbers. Yes, you should pick him up. The Caminero one's really interesting because Caminero just came back from the IL last night and hit a homer in his first game.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. I mean, that was fast from the quad injury, which is kind of surprising. I was actually talking to somebody yesterday about Caminero in the morning, and I was like, I don't know. We'll probably have to wait on him. And all of a sudden, boom, he's back. And I was like, let's do a double take there.
My problem with him has been like the Rays sending him down, not making the commitment. I just don't know how quick. Like, remember it was like a week ago, someone got mad at me for being like, you could probably drop Caminero. They're like, that's bad advice. And it's like, well, duh, I love Caminero, but if you don't have Caminero until May and there's really good options out there, like a Michael Busch, I think you can make that move because we just don't know how long we're gonna have to wait. But Caminero will be a fab buster as far as fab and number one waiver picks go. But Michael Busch is one of those players as well. So I am all for going to pick him up and write it out and maybe even go make some trades, but go listen to the video. I'll make an even bigger case for Michael Busch.
That guy telling you, by the way, was me. The guy telling you you're stupid.
What are you talking about?
What are you doing? Why are you dropping Junior Caminero? Right. I disagreed with you at the time, and I disagree with you still.
I mean, I still disagree like cutting Junior Caminero, but there's a lot of you guys that play like 3 bench leagues and stuff like that. And it's like, how long do you want to eat? Do you want to eat a month of no production? That's kind of my argument. I'm not dropping him for like some guy.
So someone asked me, James Wood or Junior Caminero, who gets to the major leagues first? I think it's like both are June guys, end of June, I think.
I'm going to say Caminero, but I would not be shocked if like next week.
Oh, Wood has been crazy. I mean, he's been off the chart, man. OPS like 1,400. By the way, another Expo. I don't see anybody dropping yet in the chats of favorite Expos. And there's been some good ones. Hubie Brooks. Come on. Hubie Brooks owned this logo back in the day.
How about Randy, by the way? My boy Randy. That's for his rookie card. Randy with the Expos.
Can you imagine that organization had Randy Johnson and Pedro Martinez in it? I mean,
dude, I think about that all the time. Also, like the
like at one time, like you could look and be like, what would have been had certain circumstances just kind of, and look, Randy Johnson was a hot mess back then. You know, he couldn't throw strikes. They traded him, and in Seattle, it was a chance meeting with Nolan Ryan that turned everything around. That's a great story. There's a reel on it somewhere. I saw that. That's what you got to say now. You can't say, oh, it was on TV. I saw a reel. Good luck trying to find it. But if you put Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan, or something like that, then we go probably find it. But he talks about the chance meeting with Nolan Ryan, and it changed his whole perspective about pitching. And that was it. And that I want to say the next game or whatever it was, they were in a series, and that's how he got to talk to him. And he was with the Texas Rangers at the time. It was the end of Nolan Ryan's career. And that game he went out there, he had like 10 strikeouts or something. And that was like the literal pivot point for the rest of his career. Wild stuff, man. Could you imagine?
That's cool.
Amazing. Good job by the schedule makers. All right. Couple of things here. Buy low bats. Your boy Corbin Carroll didn't hit any home runs really. But look, he's hitting 233, 333 OBP, a 317/1 homer on the year. It's been rough for him. Christian Encarnacion Strand also been pretty rough. He's hitting a $185. 20 strikeouts right now, just 1 walk. That's not good. He's still hitting in the 3 spot. So CES, Corbin Carroll, who are you buying on harder? I assume Carroll, but it's going to cost you more.
Yeah, I mean, Strand still has some of the elements. Some of the hard hit numbers and stuff are getting there, but the swing and miss. I don't know, man. The Corbin Carroll stuff is this is going to be the toughest one for me because it looks like garbage. But it is still so early. It is still very, very early. It is April 15th, but he has been the most aggressive. And I know last year he had that whole thing where he's like, I don't walk. And he was hyper aggressive. There's a part of me wishes like we could get some reporter to ask, like, is this a part of your game to early in the season be hyper aggressive and back it down? Because I don't know what it is. I'd have to see the numbers, might swing at more first strikes than any player in baseball right now. But I think it's hard to gauge. I actually think his game is like so anomaly-like that I don't know what we can pull from it, which is why he's just a buy. You got to go on like talent in general because his hard hit number is like 20% because he doesn't hit the ball and he doesn't hit it consistently. His average EV is 82, but he's walking a ton. His barrel percentage is on target. His XBA is starting to kind of get together here. I think some people can argue that the shoulder might be something lingering. I think there's something that's going on with his process, but in the trade video, I have a huge name that you should go buy, and it's not Corbin Carroll, but Corbin Carroll would be another one of those if somebody is really, really super frustrated. So yeah, you go and buy in him, but I will not lie. that I'm not a little bit concerned with what he's putting out there, because there's a lot of bad in his game right now. I'm just hoping this is part of the process. I am just making excuses.
A couple other fun Expo names I haven't seen in the chat yet. Ken Hill, John Wetland. Those are some fun names too. Remember those guys? Ken Hill. That guy was
I'm like a good like mid 90s up. Like that's like where a lot of things register to me.
Right. Well, but it's the difference in age. Like, that's why. Right. Some pitchers
to talk about. We're not that big of an age
not
gap,
that big, but no, but there's that gap too of like when I go to college and the debauchery begins, you're in middle school, I think.
Yeah, because how old are you?
It's very different. I am now the big 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
I got no shame about it.
1 week from today,
I look great.
You do look great. 1 week from today, I'm going to be the big 4-1. So that's why we're not that old. But I don't know if I said it on this show, but Verlander is the last bastion, by the way, of players that are older than me in baseball. So it's going to be a very, very rough.
Oh, that's why I rooted so hard for Tom Brady to keep coming back. Because as long as Tom Brady is still playing football, I still felt very young. Luis Castillo goes to 0-4. You have 3 runs, 2 of them were earned in this one. He did strike out 9 guys, 23 swings and misses. Again, it was a bad situation. It was an error, and then Michael Busch took advantage of it. Anybody who's sitting there with Luis Castillo and 0-4, just hold tight. And anybody in your league that's panicking, go make a trade offer for them. Please go get Luis Castillo. It's going to be fine. In fact, now is the time I would double down on Cy Young stuff, because if he goes and continues to just rattle off and be awesome the rest of the season, nobody's going to care about April. Nobody's going to remember, and the number is bigger right now than it was when the season started.
I'm actually not. I don't hate that. My big future bet in the AL Cy Young was Corbin Burns, and I did it right after his first start. I don't look that great right now. He has done nothing to take hold of that award. It's open, and I don't think any of these 3-4 starts for the year have taken anybody out of that race. Not even my George Kirby one, not Luis Castillo. So yeah, I thought Castillo was getting back to his old self in this last start. So I don't hate that at all, by the way.
All right, let's get to some of the late boys. Blake Snell, 7 runs on 6 hits in 4 innings. Jordan Montgomery, 7 runs on 3 2/3 innings in AAA in the rehab start or whatever, or just ramp up start, whatever the hell we want to call it. So again, as predicted, struggles in April for those guys. So not too surprising there. Jesus Luzardo also struggled. 5 runs, 5 innings against the Braves. It was against the Braves. So if you want to buy low for the next good start that I'm sure is coming eventually, you can. Here's some fun stuff here. The Cubs have reached an agreement with free agent right-hander Julio Teheran. So Teheran got signed by the Mets. 1 start, DFA'd, doesn't matter. White Sox, as we mentioned earlier, closing in on Tommy Pham. And Jose Abreu Welsh, 0-4. Now the average is sitting at 111. Let's go. Here's what I'm really excited about. Well, 2 things. First, I'm excited. Look how excited he is, too, for this. Look, little Jackson Holiday is so excited.
Guess what I did this weekend? I did something cool.
I got my first big league hit. Oh, boy. Let's talk about that. Actually, let's start with that. Jackson Holiday got his first major league hit. How excited is he? Oh, boy, it's so good. And also, everyone was saying, who the hell is Joe talking about with this Jose Butto guy, right? Well, Jose, the booty man, Mr. Butts himself, 9 strikeouts in 6 innings against the Royals, who've been red hot. I picked him up everywhere because I don't think he's going anywhere in this rotation. I don't care what any PR is going to tell you. I don't care. This guy's going to stick around. I told you I watched him in the spring, Welsh. This guy works quick, attacks the strike zone. He's a bigger kid. He looks very confident. All the stuff that we talked about with George Kirby that was missing from that Kirby start, that's all the stuff that I saw in Jose Butto in spring. And I went, this guy's ready. Give it. I know Christian Scott's pitched very well too. I'm not trying to say I'm excited about the Mets, but I'm excited about Jose Butto. And I think that's an opportunity here where in your deeper leagues, you're desperate for pitching. Stream this guy. I know the next matchup's probably not the best one for him. I think does he get the Dodgers this week? He gets somebody rough this week, all I know, but it doesn't matter. Get him on your roster. What'd you think of this 9 strikeout performance? I mean, you beat Cole Reagan's out there. Let's go.
Yeah, the booty man looked pretty good. I watched a lot of this because I'm a big, fat, stupid idiot who took the under in Reagan strikeouts. So I was watching that one. I don't know why I did that, but he looked great. I wish I had made a bet on Butto. His velo was sitting right around 94. He had 16 whiffs. He had more swing and whiffs than Cole Reagan's in the game. He had 4+ on the fastball, slider, and changeup, and over 50% whiff rate on his slider and changeup. And, his zone rates don't look great, but he was around the zone the whole time. It was pretty deceptive. I thought it was a pretty impressive outing. I don't know if it's enough to like hold Christian Scott at bay for a long time, but it's enough to give him more opportunity and pretty good strikeout option. I think it's streamable when he's not against the Dodgers.
Yeah, although I mean, it depends on what Dodger starter you're getting because Bobby Miller ain't there, and just as long as it ain't Tyler Glass now, we'll see. I think it was the Dodgers. And look, here's Mike Mayer finally saying Andres Galarraga. I said that at the beginning of the show. I mean,
thanks for tuning in, Mike.
Yeah, why don't you go make an appointment with Andrea Dawson and see how that goes instead. Some other rookies, Mason Miller struck out all 3 guys. He was still on the waiver wire in my home league. I don't know how that happened, if somebody had to drop him last week and I just didn't notice. But I picked him up to Holiday again. Congrats on the first hit, but Mason Miller, very good. Now, Kylie McDaniel is going to get the call for the Mariners. A guy, speedster, I think is the way, we could talk about him. Slashing 308, 404, 641 with a pair of homers, 11 RBIs. What's that?
You said Kylie McDaniel's going to get.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Kylie, excuse me.
If Kylie got called up by the Mariners, good for Kylie. Congratulations, Kylie. You did a great job. I didn't know.
I was reading Kylie McDaniel of ESPN reporting that Jonathan Clase. I'm sorry. I read it so fast. I got so excited.
No, I know. It's all good. It's all good.
My apologies. But I still said Andres Galarraga. So Jonathan Clase, which obviously was named by Tony Danza in the 80s sitcom Who's the Boss, Jonathan's going to get called up. Jonathan's the speedster. I don't know. Kylie might be fast too. I don't know.
No, I think Kylie could probably put up some good numbers.
But here we go. What do you think about this call up for Clase?
Yeah, I actually love Clase.
It's Monday, folks. It's Monday.
I know we have a little relationship because since the complex league and rookie ball, he's been out there. Dude is just and we follow each other and Instagram and all that. And like, he's continuously gotten bigger, he's continuously put up big stats. His problem has always been that it's a pretty big swing and miss in his game, which I think is lowered a bit this year, but he's a big old counting stats guy. He can run, he can hit for power. This is the type of guy that can put up video game type of numbers. I just don't know if he will do that from a consistent standpoint, but the Mariners offense stinks. They're so bad. So I don't blame them, or I'm not surprised that they would try to do something to infuse some offense into this. And I think this is the guy. So he might be worth checking out. Deeper leagues, I definitely think so. 12-man, you probably hold off. I just don't know if he'll have enough playing time, but I will tell you, if the contact is in play, this is a dude that's going to be combo meals, every other game. This is a homer stolen base type of guy, but I'm just worried about 35% swing and miss rate. So we'll watch for it. He's a speculative add in like deeper 12 plus, nothing lower.
Also, just throwing this out there too, when you're looking at some of these younger players, I mean, it is April, but I think you should be aggressive on some names here, especially. Look, Seattle right now, I'm saying their collective buy low as a team. Julio is doing his normal Julio stuff. Like, I looked at the career 60 games of Julio in April. Now we have 60 games of his career. I think he's hitting like 230 in that span. He's got like an OPS of 600.
Oh, you mean like through the first month or something?
The first month, yeah. His career numbers in April.
Now. Oh, yeah. No,
that's this April.
Headline of my trade video is Julio.
Yeah,
headline.
Julio,
and I did this last year with Bobby Witt.
Yeah, Kirby, Julio. Jorge Polanco's done nothing. Castillo, 0 for I know Castillo had a good strikeout day, but still, people get bent out of shape. They see 0 for 4, they start freaking out. Buy on the Mariners, folks. Buy on the Mariners everywhere. All right, 3 up and 3 down. Let's go through these real quick. Zach Gallen, a really good Sunday for him. 7 strikeouts in 6 innings. Shut out baseball there of the Cardinals, which isn't that hard to do nowadays. Cole Reagans, we mentioned. Look, we were trolling him a little bit. He did go 6 innings, struck out 8, so that's solid. We'll take that. Who would have thought Jose Barrios is the port in the storm, the guy that you can count on every single week for a good start? 7 shutout innings for him. Yeah, it was the Rockies, but still, Barrios has been really good.
He had an under 20% K rate going into that game. I'm gonna tell you, I actually almost put him on the like trade away video. Expected ERA, xFIP much higher than his actual numbers. His strikeout rate has been really low. It's been fine, but then you get a Rocky start that just like inflates and makes all the numbers better. I don't know, just like pay attention to him. But yeah, he has been really good, but this was the strikeout performance and it takes the Rockies.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, 3 down here. James Paxton. Again, like I said, it depends on which Dodger pitcher's out there right now. Paxton was not good. Walking everybody, 8 walks in 5 innings. Nady Eovaldi, bad start for him, 5 runs, 8 hits. He had been so good. So it was against the Astros, were a good lineup. All right, we'll give him a pass. But Michael Garcia, too, now 0 for 4, struck out 3 times against the Mets. He's now 4 for 36. Welsh,
Oof.
are you worried that he's going to get dropped back to 9 in the order?
Yeah, I think that is the next play for them, 100,000%.
So who becomes the one guy in that Royals order? Because I think everybody needs to know that.
Okay, well, but this is okay, but it's tricky because Salvi just got hurt. And the guy that they used to do this with was MJ Melendez. They like to put MJ Melendez up at the leadoff spot and then have Bobby Witt go to. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe Lofton's been getting some other opportunities. I don't know what they're going to do, but the lineup gets a little bit more tricky because Salvi got just like foot right in the inner thigh or whatever. And I think it was Starling Marte in that game. So I don't know if he's going to miss some time. So they may alter some of the lineup. But the likely situation is as Garcia struggles, go to 9. I would say my gut says MJ Melendez would be the leadoff guy.
Well, see, Melendez is one of my guys, too, that I'd be selling high on because you look at his career strikeout rate, it's way higher than what you've seen so far. And I don't think he's changed his stripes necessarily. I think it's just been a good couple weeks. So the regression is coming for him at some point. So that'll be really interesting to see if he goes up to the top of that order. Here's a question for Big Dance before we get to the injuries. Francisco Alvarez, Jonah Heim, Logan O'Hoppe. Who would you rather have rest of season?
Ooh,
I still say Alvarez.
O'Hoppe. Yeah, it's Alvarez or O'Hoppe somewhere in there. I mean, there's no offense that jumps out. Jonah Heim has not been it. It's one of those two. I'm fine with Francisco Alvarez. I think the offensive upside is maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit more consistency with Logan O'Hoppe.
Here's one from Laser Sharp. Who would you rather have, Jung-Hoo Lee, Colton Cowser, or Lars Nootbaar?
Colton Cowser, lighting the world on fire.
Sure is. All right, let's get to the injuries. Framber Valdez told reporters on Sunday that he's hoping to resume throwing on Tuesday, so that's good. Cody Bradford, who he's singing the praises all week, he pops up with a lower back issue. He's on the IL. JD Davis with a groin strain. Jameson Taillon said he's going to be back with the Cubs, and his next start will be with the big club. But then here's another one, too. Emmett Sheehan of the Dodgers. Apparently things are not going well for him, so he's going to stick on that IL with that forearm issue. So another pitcher, again, Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, Emmett Sheehan, Bobby Miller. You know, the one thing that can undo the Dodgers, who are too big to fail, is injuries, especially injuries to the pitching. And so far, there's been a lot of them. Regardless, they're still, kicking ass and taking names because that lineup is so good. But at some point, that does catch up with you. And if James Paxton keeps walking the ballpark, that's not going to help either.
No, I completely agree. I'm surprised they haven't been in the market, but it's like how many pitchers, if everyone was healthy, they wouldn't know what the hell to do with themselves. They've got so many pitchers that are slinging around there. But yeah, it's probably something they're going to have to pay attention to see if there's anything available on the market because they are dropping like flies.
I know everybody is super excited about what's coming soon is the Wheel of Homers. Welsh has the wheel. So stick with us, everybody. The wheel is going to be here. We're going to spin the wheel. It's a very fun-looking wheel. Welsh made it and I don't know, would you do this on your weekend? This was your weekend project. You did your taxes and you made a wheel of home runs. I love arts and crafts. But before we get to the wheel, we got to get to the bets. So it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for Monday's Best Bets
of the Day
with Joey P and the Welsh. It was a good Friday. Freddie Peralta came through for me. Let's go, Freddie P.
So good.
I told you, Freddie P. You laughed at me when I said, look, I put money on Strider because it was too good not to put money on Strider. It was still very plus. But Freddie Peralta was the other guy that I heavily invested in for Cy Young in the National League. So far, Freddie P. looks pretty good. But let's talk about today. Ronald Acuna is facing Spencer Arrighetti of the Houston Astros. This is my favorite bet of the day. It's the bet we put on social. Plus 170 to go over half a stolen base. So Ronald Acuna's just got to get a steal. Ronald Acuna is going to see 5 at-bats in this game, maybe 6 if things break right. I'm telling you right now, with the way Arrighetti's giving out free passes, Ronald Acuna is going to be on first base at some point, and he's going to turn it into a double or a triple. Something's going to happen there, so I love this one. Plus the money here, 170. Ooh, I love it. Cardinals minus 1.5 on the run line, plus 100 against the Oakland A's. Sonny Gray looked good in his return. I expect him to be good against Oakland today, even though it is a matchup where Oakland has played better. Oakland has more wins than the White Sox, which I just love. I think that's just I think it's 6-2. We're going into yesterday's action. I don't remember what it is now. I think it's 7 wins for the A's and 2 wins for the White Sox. I think something to that effect. I have to look at the standings. But anyway, I digress. Mike Trout, another good opportunity for him. Over 1.5 total bases. You're getting plus 125. This is one of the favorites on our prop bet cheat sheet over on bettingpros.com, which you should check out too. And of course, make sure when you're making your wagers, you're doing it over with our sponsor, Bet365. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets when you use the promo code leading off. So use the promo code, make your wagers. And if you're feeling like really crazy today, you want a little parlay action, Phillies money line minus 275, Dodgers money line with Glass now on the hill minus 360, and the Diamondbacks with our boy Merrill Kelly on the mound minus 152. Yeah, it's a lot of minus, but if you put the three of them together on the money line, you get plus 188 for 3 outings for Nola, for Glass now, and for Merrill Kelly that I think are going to be locked. So let's go for that at plus 188. That is your parlay of the day. Welsh, what do you have for the people on the betting slate?
All right, Kansas City, they've been good. I love me some Seth Lugo. They're going up against the Chicago White Sox, who have Nick Nastrini making his major league debut. Nothing against Nastrini. He's actually pretty solid, but Seth Lugo, pretty good. White Sox, so averaging just over 1 run per the first 5 innings, while the Royals are top 10 in the league, averaging over 3 runs in the first 5 innings. So I am taking the Royals to be up by 1 run through the first 5 innings. You can get that at minus 110. Kyle Schwarber, if I had a choice to make my home run call today, I would probably pick Kyle Schwarber up against Colorado and Cal Quantrill, who has got 3 homers in his career. So instead, going to go with the total base over. Kyle Schwarber over 1.5 total bases. That's minus 110. And then a little parlay put together. You mentioned Sonny Gray. Well, give me the Cardinals money line with Sonny Gray and then the Dodgers to be up by 1.5 runs. That is a plus 142 parlay together. Those are my 3 bets of the day.
There you have it, everybody. Make sure you download the Betting Pros app. Use that bad boy. It is spectacular. We got NFL draft coming around too. Those are the best bets of the day. And don't forget, make all your bets at bet365 with that promo code leading off. Now, Welsh, lucky for me, I can pick whoever I want. Here's what the big board looks like for home runs. I have gone down to 5th. I am still tied for 2nd, though. I'm 5th on the board. I'm tied for 2nd. Still got 8. Vlad Guerrero Jr., they were giving away his bat. I tried to break him off his schneid because I'm the slump buster. I couldn't even help Vlad Guerrero Jr. So, Vladdy, you're dead to me today. We're going to move on. But, by the way, folks, if you want to get involved in some other fun stuff, that Jose Ramirez autographed jersey is available for you. All you got to do is drop your comments below and subscribe to Fantasy Bros MLB. Yeah, and you could win this Jose Ramirez jersey. So, Welsh, without further ado, here we go. Here is the big wheel. People are excited for the big wheel. I'm excited for the big wheel. Cousin Donnie, can't wait for the big wheel. Here it is, Wheel of Homers. Now, I'm
going to read them off.
Kyle
Schwarber. Who are you picking? Who are you picking?
I picked Kyle Schwarber this morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time because I saw the same numbers you did. And I said, well, let's lock up the Schwarbombs, Mr. Wawa himself. So, Welsh, what do you have? Let's spin this wheel. Who's on the wheel?
So here's what you got. You've got Ohtani.
Well, JD Davis is on the wheel. He's hurt.
We have, is he hurt? Well, here, give me a different one because I want a couple duds on this because we have Ohtani, Judge, Trout. We have Jackson Holiday. Hey, everybody. We've got Kyle Schwarber, Javi Baez, Bobby Witt Jr., O'Neal Cruz, and I had JD Davis. Give me a different ridiculous name besides JD Davis.
We'll take it from the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. First good name in there. Let's go.
Give me like a bad name, like a not good name of somebody.
A mid-level player replacement at best. That Topher's Wheel of Taters. There we go.
Zach Geloff. All right, there we go.
Zach Geloff. There we go. There's the name. Zach Geloff is going to replace JD Davis.
We have one choice where its first comment after I spin this in the chat will be the home run call if we land.
This is why you watch on the YouTube channel, folks. This is why you're watching us. Subscribe to Fantasy Bros MLB. All right.
You ready?
I'm ready. I'm excited.
All right, here we go.
The
spin. You should be able to hear it too.
Of homers. Ooh, I like the little sound effect. Up, 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 up. It's landed on Mike Trout. It was almost Jackson Holiday. It's Mike Trout. The crowd goes wild. There we
go. Mike Trout is the winner. I actually would have been pretty funny to go with our boy Jackson Holiday, but Mike Trout will be my home run call today.
That would have been pretty,
everybody,
pretty
spectacular.
Pick me. I would have loved to have seen that, but there you have it. So hopefully this works. I love this. This is amazing. I as much as I want now Mike Trout to hit a home run, here's the question. If Mike Trout hits a home run, do you stick with the wheel?
See, this is the problem.
The wheel is in charge.
I thought about once the wheel did right, we move back on. But here's the worry is like, what if I went week to week? The wheel might do better than I'm doing at this point. So I don't know, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. But today it's Mike Trout. The wheel has decided it's no different than me making the choice at this point, but that's a pretty good one.
Big Dan says, well, Trout is getting hurt today. LOL. There you go.
The wheel doesn't do you wrong. No, you guys don't understand the power of the wheel. You're about to learn the power of the wheel today, everybody.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be back tomorrow to see how Mike Trout did, how Schwarber did, and of course, hang out with all the peanuts and the Cracker Jacks. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope this brightens your Monday and you enjoyed the show. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Fantasy Pros MLB and drop your comments below so you can win that Jose Ramirez jersey and go make your wages over at Bet365. Use that promo code leading off when you do. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Go Trout.
Peace.